Hello, everyone. Darsonovi here once again. This is my review on the second story arc of the Dark Times comic series, and in this particular comic, we dive more into, the after effects of the Clone Wars. Bilmo, if you've, you know, read the first story arc and or watched my first review, you would know he lost his family, and he has nightmares about it, and the crew that he's currently with, you know he's reluctant to bond with them, and they're reluctant to trust him considering he's the new guy. And the woman that he meets, she tells him her story of what happened in the Clone Wars, and how they're similar because they both lost family, though the reader would know that her son is alive actually. Crook, we learn what happened after and before Order 66, and at the end of this particular arc, you know the outcomes are different for these characters. Bilmo is more positive because the crew accepts him because he saves their lives, and they appreciate him for what he's done for them. And the opposite is for K'Kruhk, because he was so concerned with saving the younglings that he does un-Jedi like things. He kills every one of the mercenaries that were trying to kill, them. And as a result, they're afraid of him. And he has no choice but to leave them. So, this particular comic, I continues, giving us, other parts of the Star Wars universe that we don't get to see. This is one thing I'm starting to really love about the Dark Times series, because the first two story arcs gives us glimpses of the Star Wars universe that we don't see very much, in the expanded universe. And I love that. And I'm really liking this series. It's continuing the legacy of the Republic comics, which the Republic comics are my favorite Star Wars comics by far. And the Dark Time comics, though not as good so far, I think have some pretty good characters. Well, and I'm actually invested into them, and I would like to read more. Bilmo is a really tragic character. You can't help but feel bad for the guy. He lost his family, but the guy's a complete badass. I mean, the guy, his first introduction, in the one of the last arcs of Republic, that he was pretty cool. And in this particular comic, he's pretty cool in here too. It's like this guy's a pretty damn cool character. And the art in this particular comic, I think, is pretty good, in my opinion. I think, it's one thing I will give credit for in this, comics series is the artwork is pretty damn good. Honestly, I don't think it's as good as the first story arc artwork wise, but I think it's pretty good. Honestly, I'm just looking for some really cool looking panels. It's just something I really appreciate. And the way the art looks, it's very cinematic at times. So yeah, I think this is a really, good comic. Honestly, I would highly recommend it. Though I would read the first one first. Gets a gets a classic rating. I think it's a pretty damn good comic, and I'm looking forward to reading more. But unfortunately, just like Legacy, I have a roadblock because until I read, further into the Old Republic comic series, I cannot progress. So, next time I talk about the Dark Times comics will be when I review all of the Vector, series. So, stay tuned for that. Next time, when I come back to reading and reviewing Star Wars comics. It's been a long time coming, but it's time I finally start reviewing some Knights of the Old Republic comics again. May the Force be with you and stay safe. Thank you.